Man. Woo! What an episode. I mean, um, what's going on, y'all? YouTube world and YouTube family, like new and old. Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for What If episode 8, entitled What If Ultron Won. Man, this episode man. Let me get into it. Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton seek to destroy killer robot Ultron following a catalytic event. So, this episode kicks off it starts off in the aftermath of this catalytic event, where you see a dystopian destroyed area. Oh man, that was loud. Sorry, destroyed area where you see Natasha doing her best Mad Max impressions with her outfit, basically running from a army of Ultrons robots, and you see that Clint is not too far behind, hiding in the shadows, ready to fire his arrows off to kill the Ultrons. And then once he does that, there's more that comes that they end up defeating, and they get the better of. You see that Clint got like a metal arm, and he's been through a lot, and they get the better of him, blowing off his arm and get ready to defeat him. But Natasha comes to save him in the last minute and give him back his arm. He's like, "Man, don't say it." She's like, "What? You need a hand? Come on, you know me better than that. I'm not about to let that joke pass up." And it's revealed that where they are is actually Russia, and specifically with the KGB stores their archives and their they store their archives and hard copy datas and all that type of stuff. And they made reference to Raiders of the Lost Ark, because when Natasha and them entered the warehouse, it opens up just like Raiders, and you see that it's just just like the Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse, where it's just full of just rows of data and hard copy papers of everything. And then the watcher, takes us on the journey and explains to us that this universe is the most, makes it the most sad because of how it went down, and we are shown that this takes place in an alternate version of the Avengers: Age of Ultron, where he says the difference between the universe that we know, the main MCU universe, and this universe is that in the main one, he shows us how Ultron, how Tony, we show us to see how Tony was like, I see a suit of armor around the world. Then he shows us like the difference between the two universes. He said, in your universe, the Avengers successfully took the cradle from Ultron, creating the hero Vision, and defeated him. But in this universe, the Avengers had failed. They basically failed in taking the cradle from Ultron, and Ultron was actually able to complete his upload into Vision, and therefore becoming Vision Ultron, or Ultron Vision, or however you want to call it. And then the one thing that was cool about this episode, that if this was actually foreshadowed in the actual movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, where one of the heroes actually mentioned how Ultron, how it's possible, what possibility, with Ultron being connected to the net and all that type of stuff, what is possible that Ultron could do if they don't stop him. And that ended up being how Ultron destroyed the world. And this what if, because instead of using he does this, instead of using like the vibranium to lift up Sokovia to smack it back down and cause the catalyst event, instead of using that, he actually used what one of the heroes said it was a possibility. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just remember somebody said he got access to something. What he decided to get access to something a little bit more exciting, and they was like, "Oh, them codes." And he like, "Yeah, them codes." And that's how this episode What If actually pay homage to that whole scene by showing you that this is actually how he did it in this What If. He actually did what this particular Avenger said he could have did in the actual movie. Um, so we see Ultron, we see Tony begging Ultron not to do this, that he created him for peace. And Ultron tells him that this is evolution. The fact that you can't you can't see the distinction between the two, proves why you need to be destroyed. And Ultron lets out this Mind Stone radiation blast that hits Tony. You may or may not see some other Avengers. And some things happen. Now, and the reason why Clint and Natasha was spared was because they wasn't on the ground on Earth when the event took place. And then Ultron, after being successful in his takeover of Earth, he said he's like, I finally done it. I finally I done it. I brought quiet and peace to this planet. And then a portal opens up behind him, and a certain someone from Infinity War and Endgame pops up behind him, wanting something. And he's like, interesting. I'm like, oh, well, he just got expelled quickly. that was quick. I thought he was gonna put up more of a fight. He just was like, Ultron just like, interesting. I'm like, whoa, Jesus Christ! Well, there he goes. No, this dude, he just falls into two, and Ultron, he's like, He takes the rest of the Infinity Stones and put it to his chest, as you probably seen in the trailers and promotional art. He put it on his chest, and he becomes. He surrounds himself like a suit of armor, which is basically his old Ultron form that forms around his Vision body. He then goes on. He has his usual javelin like spear, and he basically goes on to. He realized now with the power of the Infinity Stones, he know that Earth is just not the only planet to be conquered. And then it saw him go to Asgard, Xander, Ego. He goes to all these different places from both. From Thor to the Guardians of the Galaxy. We also see they also make a cameo appearance. You see he goes from Xander. He goes to all these different places that we've seen over Captain Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy, and we end up running into Captain Marvel, but her fate might not be so lucky. So once Ultron's destruction of the universe takes place, Ultron begins to realize that by completing his mission, he has no purpose no more. There's nothing to do now. He's successfully not only conquered Earth, but the entire universe of his universe. So he's like he becomes upset with himself, or he becomes upset the fact that he has no purpose no more. What do Ultron does now that he's silenced and in his mind saved the universe from itself? Ultron then hears the Watcher narrates as the Watcher narrated somewhat what I was just saying, how Ultron has no purpose. He said, "Now Ultron is a program without a purpose, and that in the silence of the vast silence of the universe, he became more sentient and more aware and grew a newer, more sentient consciousness." And he was like, and then Ultron, he's looking around like, who said that? And he's like, and the Watcher like, he became aware of another. He became aware of another. He became aware of the what the? And then you see the Watcher realize who he became aware of, and he's like, and Ultron's like, I see you. And then he's looking around like the vast universe. I see it all. Then the Watcher's like, zero. He's like, what the hell? How could this be possible? Like a hunger like that, if it was unleashed on the multiverse, it could be catastrophic. No, this cannot happen. He's not this robot. This monstrosity is not as invincible as he's seen. There is still hope. There is still a way. And then we transition back. We transition back to Clint and them back at the archive as they're looking for a particular programming, and we're being reintroduced to Zola. If you remember, Zola was the Hydra scientist that ended up putting his consciousness into the computer. And it turns out that's what they was there looking for. They was looking for his location, the location to where another Zola could be. Cause I think the one that they know of was destroyed, but there's one that was untouched. Even after the catalytic event, it was still one place where he is that was untouched. They just need to find it. And you see the Watcher, the Watcher is basically in peril because in his realm where he watches everything from, he can hear like a faint whisper of Ultron saying, he keeps seeing like these vibrations in his little realm, signifying that Ultron is trying to break through to find where the Watcher actually be, where he watches stuff, and he keep hearing, "I will find you." And it's getting the whispers are getting louder and louder, which means Ultron's getting closer and closer, and he's like rooting Clint on because Clinton's like, and they looking at all these hard copies. Clinton's starting to lose hope, but he's right there. The next little box got what they need to destroy Ultron, and Clinton's like, man, we're never gonna find it. We don't know if it was even here. He's starting to lose hope, and then he gets to the box, and the Watcher's like, yes, that's what it's there, right there. Just look, I can show them. I could intervene, but no, I made an oath. I made an oath to never intervene, to never interfere with the destinies of the universe. But I can help them. He's like torn whether he needs to show them, whether he needs to keep his oath. He even if it means the peril of his own life. But then Clint, he's watching in anticipation, just like us, to see if he's gonna find it. And, Clint started going through it, and as he going through the little folders, he's almost getting to the Zola file that's needed to stop Ultron. But then he's like, man, we're never gonna find it. He just gives. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of doing all this. My will to live is getting shorter. Then Natasha come in there and she talks some sense into him, getting back willful into the fight, and she continues where Clinton left off and actually finds the Zola file, and you see the Watcher. You're like, yes, you did it, you found it, you found the hope. And they realize where they need to go. Where they need to go was just a callback to Captain America: Civil War. And is where the last bit of Zola, the untouched Zola that they was looking for is back where Bucky, Captain, Iron Man had that fight scene with the other super soldiers that ended up being killed by Zemo and that frozen ice cap. That's where they needed to go. But before they get there, it transitions back to the Watcher, who was like, yes, they do it. This is still hope. It's still time. And then you hear another, I will find you. And then all of a sudden you see a blast through the dimensional wall, and Ultron has found the Watcher. And Ultron's like, what? These vast universes. You have all this power, all this knowledge, and you do nothing but just watch. He's like, and then this battle ensues between the Watcher and Ultron. Ultron trying to attack the Watcher, while they have this fight, and basically battling within the dimensional barriers between all the vast multiverses of the universe. While that's taking place, Clint and Natasha gets to the base with Zola. They activate him and basically convince him through some funny comedic interrogational ways that how you would interrogate a sentient being inside a computer. There's only one thing you can't do is just threaten about pouring something on it, right? So they were Clinton's like, yeah, I destroyed many laptops in my days. And Natasha's like, yeah, just ask Shield, IT department. And Joe like, oh, no, and they like slow motion. They keep going back between Zola's contemplating and the little slow motion of the water getting ready to drip down onto his computer. He's like, okay. And he said, I will help you. And so now he decides to work with Natasha and them. They infiltrate one of the Ultrons, which should allow Zola to basically infiltrate the whole hive structure of Ultrons and even the Prime Ultron body's mind to shut him down and everything. Though Zola is successful, he can't stop the Ultrons that have come to their, because they had to call the Ultrons to them to get an Ultron to upload Zola too. They end up having to fight like a big hive of Ultron robots, and when they thought that Zola was able to stop them successfully for a minute, they stopped, but then they kept banging through this door that they locked themselves behind. And the door was actually the area where in the area they locked themselves in was actually where Iron Man from Captain America Civil War was like, like Friday, forget it, I eyeball it. And he was trying to shoot when he was trying to shoot the rockets to shoot Bucky down. They were when him and Cap were trying to escape one of those platforms. And you see how in this instance, instead of that, you got Natasha and Clint trying to climb up to escape this never-ending horde of Ultron bots, and someone, because of a miscalculation or something that they wasn't aware of, somebody end up dangling off the edge and paying homage to what happened in Endgame. The callback to Endgame, someone falls and sacrifice themselves to stop the Ultron horde and to buy Zola and the other surviving person between Natasha, whoever survived between Natasha and Clint. I'm not telling you who survived, but between the two who survived and Zola informs the survivor that the reason why he hasn't been able to shut Ultron down and end this is because even though Ultron's prime narrative is active for interstellar communication, meaning that he could be off, even he could be on other planets and still communicate with the Ultrons that he left on Earth. And so he should have been able to still, no matter where Ultron was in the universe, whatever planet he was on in the universe, he still should have been able to shut Ultron down. But he said the problem is Ultron is not the only reason why he can't shut Ultron down, because he must not be in our seeable universe, which frightens the survivor, because they realize where the Ultron's not in our universe, where the hell did he go? And we transition back to the remainder of the episode, which is shows Ultron and the Watcher fighting. They have this epic battle that sends them through multiple universes. We see even one with Steve Rogers again oathed in. It's a big old fight that ends with the Watcher escaping and Ultron they back into the realm where the Watcher watch everything. It looks all different now thanks to Ultron infecting it. And he tells the Watcher, "Go ahead, run, watch. Go ahead, run, watch, do whatever. It doesn't matter. Here I can see all." and it shows where the Watcher escaped to. He escaped to this prism like place where he's actually when he meets a particular person from a previous what if episode that he also the best way to put it, the person he ends up meeting is the last episode in which he was actually able to, when he interacted with one of the people in the universe. As you remember, that involves a certain supreme person where this would be this was like the second episode where he got found out by somebody from that universe and they interacted with him, and he ended up meeting that first person who found him, and he's like, you want to hear me say it, don't you? And this person's like, yeah, I want to hear you say it because I've been he said, I know very much what you're feeling. I've been living in this universe of my own making, my own damnation. And he's like, fine, I'll say it. I have watched and seen everything, but I need your help. And the episode ends. But this episode, man, was crazy. If I would give this episode anything, I'm giving it 10 big ups because after taking that break with episode 7, where episode 7 just more comedic, and then they alluded to episode 8 at the end with Ultron. Episode 8, man, slaps you right back in the mouth with some good old-fashioned dark drama that this series has been doing so far besides episode 7. This episode was fire, man. I had no problem with it. I enjoyed it. 30 minutes packed full of basic stuff that we have, stuff that we've seen that we did, but we haven't seen at the same time. This episode was good. I recommend you go to Disney Plus and watch this What If episode because you will be surprised. The things I didn't tell you and the things that leads up to what I have told you, man, you'll be surprised at what you're going to see. But yeah. That's all I got. 10 big ups. This episode was good. Recommend it. Don't have no problems. If you enjoyed this review, hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews. And if you truly enjoy this review and you want to support the channel, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the fam. Become part of the tribe like so many people is doing right now. Don't want to miss it because I got great things coming down the way. And hit that notification button so you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. I am out. I will see you Saturday or tomorrow for the live stream of Ghost of Tsushima. Peace.